service. So when he cooks or do that, clean, and go, oh, honey, thank you for washing the dish.
So many times you think that the touch can only happen during the sexual act and the union between that husband and wife. But the touch could be in the small thing, many boxes. But you never know what's inside until you do what? Open it. All right, and then hold up this, and you'll see that there are other boxes are inside. And men, we need to be romantic. Keep it real.
Welcome to another episode of Keep It Real TV. This is episode 49, and we are going to have an exciting, fun-packed show for you today. The topic is all about thinking big and using your power voice.
Well, we want to thank our sponsor. And it says, the Bible says, let another man praise you. So we want to thank the Bartholomew, got a little tongue twisted there, Real Estate Group for being our sponsor this month, the month of January. And I want you to know you started off right. I've already prayed for 1,000-fold return. He also passed his Florida broker's exam, so he's in the money. So you want to contact him.
No, that means I have an opportunity for the money.
For the money. You're in the money, too. And so we thank you for that. You saw his contact information. Think big. Use your power voice. We want to thank our guest again, Mr. EMILIAN Victorio White. And boy, he had us cracking our sides on the last episode about dream, vision, goals, and success. And I made a mistake. I need to correct it. I said he played basketball football. I thought I said basketball with Angela Davis. He played with Angela Davis's brother. All right.
Okay, I would have liked to play with Angela.
Okay. Now, Mrs. White, you're not listening to that.
Back in the day.
All right, now, Miss White, don't you listen to that.
Before I knew her.
Okay. All right. We want to talk about the Think Big, Use Your Power voice. And he told me not to call him Mr., so EMILIAN.
EMILIAN Victoria Blanco.
Okay. I asked him if he had a little Espanol in him. He said that.
Un poquito.
Poquito, maybe a little bit. Because we all have something in us.
That's right.
And so I don't know why we have all this hate, and there's no need to hate. Hope you had a wonderful Martin Luther King holiday, and we're not going to talk about the games, all right? Think big, use your power voice, and think on these thoughts as Brian navigates us through this program, and we find out more about his and his wife being in TV, his radio, how they thought big, and they using their power voice still. I am passionate about, you fill in the blank. I am optimistic about my ability to blank, blank, blank. I believe my life purpose is to, my dream, vision, and success in life are to, I desire to use my power voice this year to, I am committed to achieve, when assessing my gifts, treasure, talents, and time, I will change the dash between my birth date and expiration date will say that I was a person who, the legacy I will leave my children, my grandchildren down to the 4th generation and to the world is. And drum roll, Mr. Brian, take it away.
Hey, awesome. Those are amazing, thought-provoking questions. I mean, knowing our guest here, EMILIAN White, for many, many, many years, he's definitely a thinker and uses his power voice all the time. But what I'd like to ask EMILIAN is, tell the audience, how can they develop that? If they don't know, if they have no idea.
Discovery first.
Discovery.
And
you have to first know.
development.
Exactly. So share, how did you come to figure that out and then start to use your voice?
Well, believe in God and believe in yourself, and all things are possible. That's number one. So, and I think, God wants to give us love, so I give love and share love. And so I receive love from God and prosperity and growth. And so that is what my life has been about. You got to give to receive. And not that I'm expecting something, but, God has always taken care of me in the process of that.
That's interesting that you talk about God, because a lot of people, they gain success and they want to leave God out of the equation.
You got to thank God for everything.
And all right, the breath you breathe.
Right. The vision I had, the breath I breathe, the water I drink, I didn't make it. I didn't do it. So, we take things for granted. And, you shouldn't take it for granted, because my mother used to always say, I don't care how bad you think you are, somebody's got it worse. And I live by that. So I try to say, okay, my situation is not as bad as the next person. I'll be 70 soon, and I'm still walking, talking, and breathing.
In fact, this week.
No,
Next
25th.
This is this week. This is this week. This is this week.
25th.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
This is this week. Trust me.
This week. Okay, this week. You're right.
No, that's incredible. As long as I know EMILIAN, as long as I've known you, E, you are the ultimate giver. I've told you that time and time again. Dr. K, every time I see EMILIAN, he always has something.
Like money? Greenbacks?
Not money, no.
Okay.
But we used to work at the radio station, right? But I don't know if that was the reason for that, but anytime you see E, he's going to give you a T-shirt. He's going to give you a movie pass. He's like, here, take this. When he says it's about giving, he always gives. And he gives from his heart. And he gives beyond that. I can't even begin to explain that. So that is something that's really down in his fiber, and it has worked for him. And I believe I've started to adopt that. And I said one year, hopefully if I can be as half of a giver as EMILIAN, I would be a great person.
So you're telling me that
Thank you for that.
E, I think it all starts with the roots. Remember back in the 70s with Alex Haley, and he showed the roots, and that was such a intriguing, powerful story about Kunta Kinte.
Yeah.
And so let's go back and then fast forward. Go back to your roots, because I came from an educator and a missionary. My great 5 down through the line from the Genesis. All right, and then here I am doing missions, and here I am educator. Taught 11 years at the University of Phoenix, getting ready to launch a Bible, a Royal Ambassadors Youth Business Leadership Academy in South Africa. But all of it is in my DNA. Where did it start with you, and where did it start with you? We'll go with Mr. E.
Well, the fact of the matter is, I always tell people, if somebody hadn't given me when I was coming up, where would I be? So somebody gave me. I didn't do this all by myself. Somebody gave me along the way, and I received, because I didn't grow up with my father. So I was like a sponge, absorbing something from everywhere I possibly could to grow. Mama was instrumental. The guy was number one, mama and grandmama. So they helped me to grow. Then I had my 4 uncles. I had to get from them a little piece of my personality here and there, but, I had to aspire. One was a police officer, one was a pimp. one was worked at the post office, and one was a hustler. And then my grandmother, she was very influential and enthusiastic. My mother had great personality. So, I developed my personality in terms of, okay, I need to be somebody. And I always wanted to make God and my mama proud. That was the key. I didn't want to do anything to embarrass my mama. Not that I'm perfect or was perfect, because I got in a little trouble myself, along the way. But I always want to make, people proud, and that first impression would be a lasting impression that you say, oh, wow, I got something out of him, or I received something from him, love. So, so like I said, when I walk into a room, 6'5" and a half, I have 6'5" and a half, Brian.
Okay.
You never get that second chance to make that first impression. So it's going to be a happy one. So, oh, okay, you want people to love you and give and receive love.
My grandmother always taught me manners and respect will carry you far in life.
For me, I was born in Brooklyn, but raised in the island of Grenada by my great aunt. So for me, she was the foundation. I saw her run a business. She had a business, a thriving tourism business in Grenada on Market Hill, and I used to go there every day. I did well in school. She was a staunch disciplinarian. I mean, everything was by the book. I mean, systematic, organized. I mean, we knew every day what we were going to eat, when we were going to eat, what time to eat, and if you weren't present at that time,
structure.
yes.
Some
So it
people
was-
lack structure in their lives.
Structure was the first thing. Then integrity. You do what you say that you're going to do. And if she said she was going to do something, she was going to do it. And if she expected something from me and I said I was going to do it and it didn't happen, yeah, there was a problem.
And also, this was one of the things in Mr. E's bio. It said that he, and this was other people said about you. And see, that's your reputation, what other people say. Character is who you are when nobody's looking. But they said that you were such an integrous man. And I'll never forget on my birthday, one time when I turned 60, I went, I had a big party in San Antonio, and a comedian took me out. I wanted to test him out because I didn't want no be paying for somebody, and he was going to be a dud. All right. And so as we walking into this cheesecake factory, I saw this portfolio that the waiters and the waitress carry, and they set us by the window, and I didn't want to sit there, and I saw this. And I went outside, and I picked it up. It was a wad of money in there. So I came in and I went and gave it to the hostess. She said, "This is not ours." I said, so maybe I thought maybe it was a hostess, a host from Cheesecake.
God was blessing you.
No, he wasn't. Listen to the story. Listen to the story. So the Holy Spirit said, "Don't give it to her." I walked back out. I saw this waitress out there pulling her hair, frantic and everything, and I had count the money. It was over $300 some odd dollars. Now, some people, like you say, would have said, "God bless me with that." And I said, "Ma'am, you look distraught." And she just was crying and going ballistic and everything. "I lost my tip, and that's all I got," and blah, blah, blah. I said, "Well, how much is it?" And she told it to me to the T. I had it behind my back, and I pulled it out, and I said, "Ma'am, is this it?" And she said, "Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you." I go back in, and there was an elderly couple sitting down also at the window and said, "That was very admirable
They saw
what you did. Watch this. Fast forward. And I said, I don't use nobody misfortune saying God bless me. Nobody saw me picked it up. I could have easily kept it, but integrity wouldn't let me.
Absolutely.
And integrity will carry you a long way.
Absolutely.
Fast
You never know
forward.
who's watching.
Fast forward.
Right.
I go to the bathroom and I come back and I say to Joshua, who's the comedian, "You paid the bill?" Said that couple paid it.
Wow. Yeah.
Because of the act of kindness and integrity I did.
Integrity goes a long way.
Now, you don't talk about your wife much. Now, your wife is also into TV.
What?
And so, won't you talk about that and how you two complement one another? And then maybe my wife will watch this and I can have her on the set more.
No, don't get me in trouble with your family, okay? Keep them family issues away from me. No, but anyway, I was blessed to be married to Kim. She's an outstanding woman, but she didn't realize how incredible she was. So it took that little push, for her to, get out the house. Interesting stuff. We got time. So she had the opportunity to go to LA to produce a TV show. She said, "I can't go because I can't leave you here with 3 kids." I said, "No, go. I got the babies." They were 2, 6, and 10. And so I said, "I got 3 drop-offs, 3 pickups, 3 this, 3 that." I said, "Go to LA, do the Judge Alex show." And so, okay. So after that was over with, she had the opportunity to go to Atlanta to do the Steve Harvey show. I said, "Go." The radio show. I said, "Go." She said, "I can't do that." I said, "No, go." So after that was over with, she had the opportunity to go to Chicago to do Steve Harvey. So I said, "Go. This is your opportunity." So she went there for 4 years, and she won 2 Emmys. Right, 2 daytime Emmys. That's, people don't, you don't know everybody who's won Emmys. Right?
So you really put her out front.
Yeah, but it wasn't about me. It was about pushing her to help her realize.
I didn't say push. I said put her out.
No, I pushed her out the door. I said, "You're gonna go. You're going." Right, and so, but after 6 years, I said, "Okay." And our baby girl, she's getting tired. She said, "Mom, you're gonna miss my graduation." I said, "Oh." And then on top of that, I said, Kim, she won another Emmy because she put together Great Day Houston. And so I said, "Kim, write a book." no, I don't need to write a book because I said it's not about you. It's about people you can help
And influence.
and want to be like you, want to grow to aspire to be
Wow.
like you. So she wrote a book, and it's called How to Win. Right, so that you know that's my wife, and she's still producing. She did Oprah Winfrey. She did Steve Harvey. You know,
And you also know Steve Harvey also.
went to college with Steve Harvey.
Okay.
You know, we correspond every once in a while. Talking about Go Browns. He's
He's a big Browns
fan.
fan.
He last time I really talked to him was out when I was in the hospital for COVID, and he reached out. He said, I won't
Well,
tell
we
what
thank
he
you
said.
for your recovery.
No, thank God for my recovery.
Thank God. dear.
Touch on that, Emilian, because I feel like, when, we say one thing and we talk certain things, people hear it and sometimes they don't believe that, people are for real. But I'm a witness to see once again that this gentleman right here, when we went through COVID, and he'll tell you his story, but the bottom line is post-COVID, he is so thankful, so grateful. He was already like that, but the positive attitude and the acknowledgement of where it could have been and where it could have gone, but by the grace of God that he's here today, that story is just incredible. And once again, it's about positive attitude, it's about believing, it's about a will, it's about a drive.
Excuse me.
Speak on that. Just touch on that in your story.
Well, it's interesting how it all occurred, but God has a plan and a meaning for everything that happens in life. So I didn't realize how sick I was until my wife and a friend of mine said, "Hey, look, he's in the second stage of COVID. You need to get him to the hospital," because I was sweating like a racehorse, and the bed was wet and everything. He said, "Bring him to the hospital right away." Thank God the hospital was there. It was all timing. It was all timing. If I'd have waited a day longer, my Dr. Brown said, if you'd have waited a day longer, you wouldn't be here. And so my lungs was white as Brian's shirt. And so, I'm Mr. He-Man. I've just finished mowing the lawn, and they said, okay, let's go to the hospital now. So I was there, and it's so surreal when you're there. It's like, what the heck is going on? And I'm watching television. Every morning, 24/7, the television was stuck on CNN. I couldn't change the volume or change the channel, and all I'm doing is seeing numbers go up, up. I said, "Oh Lord," and I said, "I can't let this be me." So it was, will and determination and the grace of God. I'm here. So one of my favorite commercials was "Nothing is everything." That's Guy Rizzi. I saw that 1,000 times. I thought, "Oh, okay." So, but it's a blessing. God had bigger plans. So what I do now is I send the doctors who save me. I call them my dream team. I send them a prayer and a blessing every morning. For the past, it was in 2000,
2020, 21, and 22.
In March.
Yeah.
I was in there in March for 9 days, and I send them a prayer every morning. I send a prayer, said thank you, because I don't know what the other side may look like, but I'm happy to be here, and if it wasn't for you guys and the grace of God, I wouldn't be here. Because isolation is a trip, man, because you're isolated,
and so many people died alone.
Right, that could have been could have been me.
Yeah, because I remember your wife took you to the hospital, right?
Right.
Fully expecting to get some medication or something, and they drive back home. But she was told, "Oh no, he's got to stay," and they suited him up and whisked him away, and she was shocked, and all of a sudden had to go home.
That might have been the last
alone.
time. Right. That might have been the last time I saw my wife.
Exactly.
And so everybody there's in hazmat suits, head to toe, and that's all you see. You only see their eyes coming through, and it's like, okay, the isolation there. You got to have a positive mindset and be resourceful and say, hey, look, I'm getting out of this.
Absolutely.
I'm a win this. I'm gonna fight this. God.
Which is a blueprint for life. Again.
Right.
Yeah. Listen to this. A dream needs a team. This is by my friend Bernie Torrance, and he's up in Ohio. Now listen to what it says about a power voice. As one person, I cannot change the world, but I can change the world of one person. And this is by Paul Shane Spear. It's easier to take than to give. You're a giver. It's nobler to give than to take. The thrill of taking lasts a day, but the thrill of giving lasts a lifetime.
Absolutely.
And this is by Joanne Marcus. The only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. And so here's a Power Voice quote from the Gospel of Thomas. You know, there are other Bibles, like in other chapters in the Septuagint Bibles. We studied this when I was in seminary. And this is what it says. If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. But if you do not bring forth, think about this, what is within you, what you bring forth will destroy you. Mm-hmm. So that means that you can be silent and not use your power of voice to change a situation. Each one of us has been put on this earth for a purpose.
Absolutely.
To do something. What do you feel your purpose is?
To give.
Okay.
To live and to give.
I am learning that everyone has a power of voice.
What's your purpose on this earth?
My purpose is to help, to help people.
You know, my purpose, I discover, is to connect people. I connect people to their purpose and to their destiny. I've had people I have helped, and they have forgotten all about me.
That's
my
giving.
wife, that's given.
That's giving.
Yeah, that's given.
Right.
And my wife said, "Man, that doesn't bother you?" I said, "No, because that's my assignment.
Right.
I
Yes,
believe
that's good.
on this earth."
That networking is
networking.
That's giving.
It's
Right.
true,
Right.
and therefore that's very important.
And you're sharing.
Listen to this skill development where you think about this, think big. We're talking about that, and also using your power of voice. And it's all about attitude. We talked about, and Chuck Swindoll said attitude is 10% what happened. We want to make it 90. But he flips it and said 10%, but 90% of how you respond. And skills development, 10% of what you read, 20% of what you hear, 30% of what you see, 50% of what you see and hear, 70% of what you say, 90% of what you say, do, or teach, but 100% application. What you think about that?
I think it's spot on, because you can have all the knowledge in the world. If you don't do something with it, if you don't realize that you have something, you have power. You know, people say knowledge is power, but it's the application of the knowledge that makes you powerful.
And from a biblical standpoint, God says, don't rest on your talents.
Yeah, if
Right.
you don't use it, you lose it, right?
Exactly.
We all been given
take it away.
time,
Right, we got time and
Yeah.
talent,
Right.
Yes,
and treasure,
yes,
and we are the temple.
yes.
Right, absolutely.
And so many people abuse the temple, but yet still they want longevity.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, and it doesn't work that way.
I think people, the audience needs to realize that everyone out there, every one of us has power and has a power voice. We're describing various aspects of it, but what is your power voice? Your power voice may be to share. And people say, I can't share, I don't have a mission. But I think,
a lot of times it's selfish.
yeah, you're not,
You don't want to give it
you
yourself.
have something to say. You have a testimonial. You have an experience.
Everyone.
That when you share that experience and be transparent with someone, you can bless them. So why keep that in? That's what I've learned.
Well, let's put up his bio and then put up his brand, his bio first, and then we're going to go right into his contact information. If you put up his bio. All right.
There it is
There
right
he
there.
is
Look at
right
that.
there.
Wow, look at who was that?
Okay.
Emiliano Victorio White,
right. Okay.
President and
Don't say
CEO.
what you're thinking either.
Okay. What was it like going to Kent State University? Put up his branding now.
Well, going to Kent State, I came from the ghetto, the hood, the projects, and then I'm going immerse myself into a diverse society. You know, the population was, blacks made up less than 20%.
Okay.
Of the population.
All right.
So, being that, from the hood, a black society into a integrated society was like, okay, what am I doing? But I learned from that. I took my ghetto education. You get educated in the ghetto, then you come to get a real education. University.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
Your environment.
Right.
Your
Your environment is your
yes.
education.
And it created a balance in my life, so I know how to deal and choose and negotiate with people and understand people and to listen.
That's true.
Right.
Listen. Wow.
Right, and it's a it's a sales it's an aptitude that you gain from being in
Attitude, aptitude.
right from the hood. So that's what it
and
was
attitude.
like. Right.
All right, put up this and talk about this right quick. CEO of the Star
A-Star TV?
Talk
Well,
about that. A-Star TV.
Well, what happens is, I put together a TV station,
Radio
a
station.
radio station.
TV
First,
station.
Amazing 102.5 FM. A 1-watt radio station that was able to, you can listen to it all over the city. And so, under certain circumstances, I left. That's another story. but after that, God has a plan for you. I didn't, He orders your steps. And so the TV station opportunity came along, and so I put together a television
Is it
station.
still in existence?
It's still there,
Okay.
you can look it up. It's still there. And so I had lots of programs, developed it, because I learned from my wife and from being associated with other people, and so it's still there.
All right. Here's contact information. Put that up right quick, and then we want to, your Instagram and your YouTube.
Right.
Well,
Facebook, YouTube.
since you invited him on, and it's his birthday
I get
week.
the honor.
You
Wow.
get the honor.
Thank you so much,
go
Dr.
ahead
K.
and let's.
E. White, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, sir.
You've been instrumental, powerful, and certainly added huge value.
Look at that. A Cleveland Browns cup.
Oh, good.
A Cleveland Browns, go Browns
no,
cup.
his
Oh my
real-
God.
With an X with the Texas logo behind it.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my God. You're so great.
Well, we want to thank you for being a guest on both episodes 48
Yes.
and 49.
It was fun.
And we thank you for being a big thinker. Thank you for what you do in the communities. Thank you for encouraging your wife. Most men won't do that.
Yes.
To stay home and say, honey, you go and develop yourself and whatnot. And Brian, we want to thank you for inviting him. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Sorry, Cleveland. No.
Go Browns.
Oh, go Browns.
Watch it.
All right. All right. So if you can put up our slide, and then we're going to give a 10-second something to think on. Put up our Keep It Real. Therefore, KeepItRealTV49 at gmail.com. Send in your views, what you thought about Mr. E and of the other programs this month. We had some fantastic guests, and we want to thank the Bartholomew group for
Thank you for having
sponsoring.
me. Thank you
Go
for
to
having
Keep
me.
It Real. We're on in South Africa now, as well as call us 346-813-0222 if you would like to be a sponsor. All right, give us a 10-second. Now,
Hey.
think of one of those phrases. I'm passionate or optimistic. What are you optimistic about? You got 10 seconds.
I'm most optimistic about life and the future.
All right, go ahead.
I want everyone to realize that they have a powerful voice. Think about that and utilize it in 2024.
All right, what are you committed to achieving at 70 now?
At 74.
Yes.
Look, keep living. Keep living, breathing. Believe in God, believe in myself, all things are possible, and keep on living to believe and achieve.
Okay.
For
it.
myself and for other people to bring it, it's lonely at the top. So you want to bring people along with you, so everybody can happy and be sharing.
All right, I'm committed to achieve this year to open up that Royal Ambassadors Youth Business Leadership Academy in South Africa, where 200 young people, they want trained so that they can fulfill and their purpose and their legacy and leave South Africa different. And I'm just so honored to have been asked to lead these 200. We'll be inviting more. All right, as we close this show today, think big, use your power of voice. You are an A1 thinker. Now go and think big. And this is what Shirley Chisholm said. She said she used her power voice as a congresswoman. She was powerful. From the Caribbean, Stuma.
That's right.
Where we hailed from.
That's right.
All right. I am, was, and will be a catalyst for change. And when you think big, and when you use your power voice, on the count of 3, you can. 1, 2, 3.
Keep it real.